Okay, hello everybody, this is Kerry Baird and welcome to our traffic training webinar, the Q&A edition. So first up, it's great to see a few familiar names on the list here attending and from the forums, from the Facebook group, everything like that. So great to see you here today. Right, so what this is all about, a couple of days ago I invited a Mr. X, as I was calling him, aka Todd Spears, who we introduced on the last webinar. I asked him to join me a couple of days ago and show you all how we got a page 1 Google ranking in a competitive niche for a fresh store builder store. So we're going to go into that in a bit more detail again today. And what we did a couple of days ago, we went through all the results, we went through the methods that Todd used to get them, and we picked it all apart. We went into all the nitty-gritty. So it really was a fantastic webinar. I got a lot of members come back and contact me and say they were blown away by it, by the content, by the results. We got some really good feedback on it. And to be honest, I was really blown away too. You know, I'd seen a little bit about what Todd was doing, but I hadn't really dug into it. But seeing the techniques that he used, yeah, I was really impressed. So I'm really excited to put these techniques into practice myself. I'm really keen to learn a bit more as well from Todd today. And that's what it's all about today. It's a question and answer session, so feel free, get started now, get asking questions so we can get through them. And we haven't really got an agenda. We're just going to go through again an overview of what we looked at last time. We're going to go off what you want to see, what questions you have, and just to tell you a little bit more about what we did in the last webinar. So Todd also showed us his tool set, SEO Command Center. So this was something he's personally developed, and this is what he's been using to get all these kind of results and all this good rankings in Google and all the traffic. So there was really, the last webinar, there was so much to show you. We went for 3 hours, including probably an hour of answering questions, and it still wasn't enough. So that's why we've done this today. And I got a lot of questions afterwards in the groups, in the support help desk and things like that. So I persuaded Todd to come back today to answer some questions. That's what we're going to do. I will be here for an hour. I've got an hour today. After that, if you've still got more questions, no worries. I think Todd might be able to carry on with that, and we'll keep going until we've covered everything you want to cover. And I think how we're going to get started, one of the first questions I saw was how can this be done manually? So a lot of you were very impressed with the results and the tools, but we're quite interested in how this can be done maybe without the tools and in a manual way. What steps might you need to take if you were to do this completely by yourself? So I think we'll probably start in that area and have a look how to do things manually. Like I said before, start asking questions. You can type it in the box and we'll get through those one by one for you. So, okay, let me introduce over to Todd. Thank you for coming on again today, Todd, and yeah, take it away.
All right, thanks for that introduction, Kerry. I really appreciate it. So, all right, guys, so like Kerry said, this is kind of just going to be a Q&A session. If you guys have any questions, then you know, we'll get them answered. Also, can everybody hear me okay? I see one person says I have no sound. If everybody else can hear me, give me a 1 in the chat box, please. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, William, Vincent, Marie, Valerie, Matt, Lindley, June, Edwin. All right. Hi, Edwin. How are you? Sue, Larry, Doug. All right. Cool. Sounds like y'all can hear me well. Okay. Yeah, you know, so guys, if you have any, oh, let me ask you this. Yes, we did start. Yeah, you should be able to see my screen too. Can everybody see the VTech Dinos on the screen? Vala, check your internet connections. Everyone else can hear me, it seems. Good and clear on the screen. Okay. And check your settings on GoToWebinar. You might have to play with it a little bit, but it should work. Okay, guys. So yeah, I was just looking at I actually just did another search just now, and a couple of days ago when we did the first webinar, this VTech Dinos was at number 11, and today, page 1, boom. And it's kind of been bouncing around a little bit between 10 and 11 since we started. Well, I should say maybe about a couple of weeks in, it started bouncing between 10 and 11. And yeah, today it looks like, actually I saw this yesterday, it had hit page 1, and then that's what happens whenever you rank these sites sometimes, especially in really competitive markets like this one. You can see the all the competitiveness on this front page as well as page 2. I'll just show you all of the competition that we are beating. Kohl's, very big brand. vtech.co.uk, that's the actual brand, their UK version. I see eBay, Cartwheel, Twitter, Kmart, Facebook. So you can see all of these very high authority sites that we are beating. And let me ask you guys again, how many people did not see the first webinar a couple of days ago where we did the whole presentation? Is it a few of you or all of you? Okay, there's a few in here that did not see it at all. Okay, wow, I'm seeing mostly knots actually, Carrie. Okay, how many of you did see it?
Okay.
One.
Well, just to clarify, we do have a replay of the original webinar as well. So while we'll be going over everything today, if there's any part that we skip over or maybe you want some more understanding of, it's definitely well worth watching the first webinar that we recorded. So we'll get you a link to that. I'll post you a link in the chat box now, and I'll be emailing out with the links too.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, well, just to recap a little bit, the way we, I should say me and my software ranked this VTech Dino site for all of these keywords was with a private blog network. And just as a simple diagram of what that means is these content blogs on the outside ring here are basically domain names that are aged, high authority WordPress blogs. And we posted content to these outer ring of blogs and pointed links, backlinks into the money site, into some of the inner pages, and that's how it's ranking. And this is a technique that I started doing back in 2003, 2004, and I was kind of one of the first people, probably one of the very first people to ever do this. There are a couple of people that are still around that was with me back then. Some of you may know Dory Friend. I know her, and she was back. She's been in the SEO field for that long as well. Not too many people that are around today that are kind of in the public do this. They're still around. So that's basically, I just kind of want you to look at that picture and leave it here for a minute, and so you can just kind of get the idea that this is not rocket science. It's just simply finding high authority aged blogs. I'm going to show you how to do that, and getting some content on them. Well, first of all, getting them hosted and hosted correctly where they don't leave a footprint. There's a few key things that you need to be aware of, and then get some content on those blogs and point those links back to your money site, and vary your anchor text. If you've been following any Google updates lately, Penguin was the big one that came out, gosh, I guess about a year and a half ago maybe, that really knocked all the people that were over optimizing, which means basically using an exact match keyword in every single anchor text for all the URLs coming into the money site. So Penguin came down, and we had to adjust our way of linking. But so this is it really. So guys, I really want you guys to understand this part right here. You know, and it doesn't look like this. I showed this picture the other day of these two guys staring at the very convoluted chalkboard. It's really not this way. I really hope that you don't think that it is. Okay, and so again, what's required? High authority domains, unique IPs, links embedded in the content. Then you need some articles that you embed those links in. Probably should be reversed. And then we use WordPress on all of our sites. You don't have to use WordPress, but WordPress makes it easier for us to manage and update and manipulate. Okay, here are some of the tools that are, you know, kind of required in order to do this. Most of these have monthly fees, so you have to be able to, you know, analyze your domains and make sure you are getting the high-powered ones. Okay. So, and then there's a picture of my dog. No, he's not my dog, but he's a funny-looking dog. And so the main thing that we want to show you eventually is the SEO Command Center, and this is what I use, a tool I've been developing for years and years and years. I've been developing tools and software for a long time. I was a programmer back in the 90s, and so I have a bit of experience developing software. And over the years, I had multiple tools that I use that allowed me to, you know, find these domains, build these domains, host these domains, manage these domains, manage the content, manage the links, and things like that. So over the years, I built a collection of tools, and then recently, I should say over the last couple years, I've been bringing all these tools together under one roof so that, you know, I could use them easier and faster. So so I guess what I want to do right now, well, for those of you that weren't on the webinar yesterday, I just want to show you some of the rankings. These are some screenshots of some rankings that myself and my students have been able to obtain using private blog networks built in the way I'm going to show you how to do. And this particular screenshot is the one I've been working on with Carrie. Carrie challenged me, I guess it's almost a month now, not quite, ago to rank VTech Dinos. And I said yes before I actually looked at the competition, and I was quite nervous at first when I saw what I was up against. But I've ranked you know, really competitive stuff and not so competitive stuff like local service terms. But I would never have said, oh sure, I can have that done in 3 weeks, had I actually looked at
yeah, you sounded pretty confident at the time though.
well, I knew I could, you know, it was, you know, it's not too many things that I can't rank, but boy, yeah. I've never went up against something with so many authority sites. I mean, yeah. I showed you at the very beginning of this, and yeah, it was super competitive. But no, I was able to kick it in. And I also want to emphasize here that I think one of the main factors in that the reason why it went so well was not only the private blog network, but also the way Carrie has developed Fresh Store and the way it is siloed and the way the URL structure is. I remember in the beginning, I asked Carrie, I said, hey, can I get, you know, access to the site? I may need to, you know, check the on-page factors, because there are a few things in SEO that you have to be aware of, and it's the on-page factors. Private blog network is what's called off-page factors, and on-page is also important, and it's not like again, not rocket science. You just need
Mm.
keywords in the URL structure, uh, a little bit on the page, but you can't overdo it or Penguin will come and take you down because they
Mm.
don't want you to be over optimized. And one of the best things I think I see about the store is that you don't have, like, in other words, this particular page probably ranks well for, I can't remember exactly, but probably ranks well for VTech Switch and Go, maybe VTech Switch and Go Dinos. I know it ranks good for VTech Dinos for sale. But what you've done here, Carrie, is you've got what we call sandwiched anchor text in your URL,
Mm.
right? That means that the main keyword is obviously VTech Switch and Go, but you've also got best in the
Yeah.
beginning and for sale at the end. So you've kind of tricked Penguin in a little bit of a way that says, hey, I'm not like just absolutely trying to rank for this particular keyword. So this is one of the reasons why this did so well so quickly, was
Yeah.
just the simple fact that it's built out with very nice URL structure. So remember this, guys, whenever you're building a site that you want to rank. Now, obviously, if you're using Carrie's Fresh Store Builder, then you don't have to worry about it so much because it does all of this stuff automatically for you. But if you're
Yeah, I
trying,
think there's two good points about that just before you move on. But um, I mean, the first one being about the sandwich keywords. I think that's a great thing to take away from this webinar today, um, because Todd keeps saying a couple of things, and I like to try and take notes and stuff, and that's a great one. So think about that, not just in the URL that he's just shown you there, but also in the headings, as you can see on the page where it says best VTech Switch and Go. Again, the keywords are sandwiched there, so it's not over optimized. And the other thing, I just wanted to go back a little bit and what Todd was saying about how Fresh Store Builder is built in the right way for SEO. It's an interesting point because these features that Todd is highlighting in Fresh Store Builder have actually, for the most part, been in since version 1 of the software. And going back to what Todd said earlier about how he's been ranking this site, his methods also, I think, did you say 2004, 2005? You've been doing this similar kind of thing with PBNs, Todd?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so some people think, yes, Google makes a lot of algorithm changes. Yes, you see a lot of sites go from page 1 on Google to nowhere overnight, but the solid key principles of SEO haven't really changed that much, and that goes for on-page SEO, as you can see on the store now, the URL having the keywords, good markup, so H1 tags for the titles, just some basic stuff about the silo structure, the way the categories are laid out, all these kind of things that we've done from the start in Fresh Store Builder, they haven't changed that much, and the same for the off-page stuff. The private blog networks have been around for a long time, and some people, I saw some comments of people saying, yeah, but this year Google, they're penalized private blog networks, they're cracking down on them, this and that. Not if they're done the right way, not if they're done properly. If people take shortcuts and they do it the wrong way, which Todd will tell you probably more about, yes, they'll get shut down by Google. So it's an interesting point. I don't think that SEO is changing as much as people make it out to be. The key principles do stay the same.
Yeah, it's all about backlinks. It's always been all about backlinks. If you want to go and read Google's patents, you'll see that's primarily what it's all about. Now, their algorithms do try to detect spam, link spam, and they will take you down. And, yeah, about Google, penalizing sites or whatever for private blog networks. Most of that is lip service. Sure they are. Google's trying to do as much as they can to discourage anyone from SEO. Basically, if you read Google's terms of service, you're not supposed to do anything, right? You're not even supposed to try and make your URL structure, SEO friendly. That's considered against Google's terms of service. So the only reason why Google says you shouldn't do it or we're going to get you if you do is because it works, and it works really well, and it always has. they have went out and taken down some of the public blog networks, okay, that were around back in probably 3 or 4 years ago. They took action against the public ones, which was basically they were just advertising, hey, you know, pay us money and we'll put articles all over our blog networks. And it was really open, and Google infiltrated them, manually infiltrated them, and manually took them down. Building private blog networks the way I'm going to show you how to do it, they really can't find them unless you're a target and unless they manually go and figure it out. I mean, anyone can almost figure all that stuff out manually if you went and did that. But so do not fear that at all. Google will always try and do things to, you know, discourage people from trying anything SEO. But I mean, if you don't do SEO, then you can't compete with excuse me, you can't compete with the authority sites. You might as well just not do it if you're not gonna build backlinks. So with that being said, we'll move on here. So back to this presentation just for a minute. These are some of the rankings. Number 1 and number 2 for VTech Dinos for sell. Number 1 in Bing for VTech Dinos. Number 11 and 13 for VTech Dino Bronco. It's just rankings all over the place, guys. These are just some of the screenshots that I took on Monday. Number 2 in Yahoo for VTech Dinos. Number 9, VTech Dino Woolly Mammoth. This screenshot here says number 10, number 11. It's actually number 10 now. VTech Switch and Go Dinos, first page, number 10. So I just wanted to show you guys again that, you know, indeed this site has a lot of rankings. Okay, so now, you know, the $1 million question is how do I do that? How do I find these domains? How do I build these domains, and how do I host and post these domains? So before I get into that, I'm going to back up here just for 1 second and maybe just kind of skim over some questions here and make sure that while I'm talking, you know, I answer some questions that are on here. Ken asks, is the monetization of PBN sites AdSense or affiliate products? No, you do not want to monetize your PBNs with AdSense or affiliate products. Probably the only thing that I would ever do on a PBN is maybe some banner ads from not even DoubleClick, like Pulse 360 or some other banner network. But I generally don't even do that, because the one thing you don't want to do is leave a footprint and connect all of your PBN sites with some unique code, and AdSense would be the death nail, right? If you put AdSense all over your PBNs and they become linked because you have the same AdSense code. So if you want to monetize them, I would discourage that. I would not want to see you do that, because most of the time when you put code on your site, it's unique to you, and that can get you taken down. What is a realistic estimate of what you should pay for your blog network and acquisition? It all depends, and I'm going to go over that now and show you how you can do it. You know, buying them at auction or buying them through scrapers. There's a lot of domain brokers out there that you can also get them from, and they range anywhere from $10 to, you know, a couple $100 depending on their power. Okay. Yeah, someone's talking about the hosting. You know, you want to keep your money site hosting separate from your PBN hosting for sure. Okay. I think Carrie has some.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's a good question, because with the SEO Command Center, did you say you had 11 different hosting accounts, or 11 different potential hosting
That's
accounts?
true.
Yep. And also with Fresh Store Builder, some of you have hosting with our service. So that would be the one. Our service would be the great place to put the money site, obviously for Fresh Store Builder. That hosting is optimized for Fresh Store Builder anyway. So I would recommend keeping the Fresh Store Builder store on that hosting and the money sites only, and then using the hosting accounts inside SEO Command Center for the PBN.
Yep, absolutely. Vincent says some PBNs look pretty low in quality. Well, you're the maker. You can put any theme you want on there. Low quality. I mean, Google's reading the content. They're not eyeballing it. They're not looking at.
I think that's a good question, because that's something that some of our members ask as well about stores, and they get very obsessed about making their store look fantastic in design, looking really slick and smooth and brilliant. But how many times have you searched for something online and found a really crappy looking website, basically? But the content is good. And
Right.
so when you think about your PBNs, think about making the content decent to good, and don't worry too much about the templates, the design. And I'll bring this back to another great point that Todd made on the last webinar about randomness. So if all your blogs on your PBN have the greatest, latest WordPress theme, they look really slick, but they all look the same, there's a potential link there. There's a potential for people to recognize that pattern. So the idea of randomness is use different themes. Use some poor-looking themes. Use some good-looking themes. Use some. Just make sure they're different. And that principle of randomness applies to other things, right, Todd?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, everything should be random, be unique. Don't have the same modus operandi at all. Dan the Man asked a question about name servers. Yeah, we definitely will show you how to set up. Basically, you want to set up private name servers or use an A record in your registrar. Things like this, guys. There's a lot of free information on the net too if you just search for it. Hopefully, you come across someone who's done this for a while, and I can't say everybody knows exactly what they're doing. I see a lot of information out there, but generally it's okay. One of the things inside the command center is Blog Network Blueprint, and Blog Network Blueprint is a course that I published twice now, version 2.0, 2015 version. We just did a few months ago, and it has all the nitty-gritty details and ins and out right here. So people still buy this course all the time. But this is inside this course, we go over all these details about name servers and footprints and linking structures and all of those kinds of things. But inside the command center, it's also available. And if you just register for an account and you get it for free inside here. We just iframed all of the information in here. So like PBN setup, okay, footprint reduction, changing IP addresses, installing WordPress, private name servers right here. There's a video for Enom, video for GoDaddy. Here's how to use Cloudflare to also hide yourself a little bit. They have a lot of IPs you can use. And then here's the advanced tactics that I was talking about using the A records. And I can't go over that in this webinar because it would take too much time, and I would probably bore half of you to death. But they're really short. I mean, look, 5 minutes there. 5 minutes there. These are all just little 3 to 5 minute videos, 4 minutes. So it's not again, it's not rocket science. Nothing is. It's just a matter of being shown what to do. And so
I think a lot of this information. Sorry, Todd. A lot of this information too, I think, is you don't need to watch it all. Like in this case, you've got setting up private name servers for GoDaddy for some other solutions, Enom. So you don't have to watch every single one of these videos, and it's there if and when you need it. When you've got those questions. And the whole training here that you can see, obviously, like Todd says, it's included in here. And if you're feeling like, where do you start, and I'm not going to remember this that Todd was talking about and teaching me, it's all here in step-by-step, module 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, don't worry about being overwhelmed, and just take it one step at a time, as I've been going on about for the last couple of webinars, not just the one a couple of days ago, but your intro webinar. But yeah, just take it one step at a time. It's all here, and it's all there when you need it.
Right. and here's a very important video on finding PBNs, what to look for, how to use a Site Explorer, and how to use Majestic. And that's kind of what I want to go over right now. Is I'm going to show you, how you would go about this, just manually, how you would do it. Now, there's a few sites out there that will list for you all of the domains at auction. You'll see right here, GoDaddy expired domains, GoDaddy closeout domains, and TDNAM. But basically what you do here is you're probably going to log in and sign up. I'm not going to do that right now. But you can see a list of domains that are available for you at auction for you to pick up. All right. And once you take, I'm going to try to find a decent one here. I'm going to go by the number of backlinks. Okay, let's just go ahead and take a look. Let's just say we want to look at this site right here. It has a lot of backlinks. Looks like its age is from 2006. Got some age on it. This might not, I've never looked at this domain, so it might not be the best one to look at, but this doesn't give you a whole lot of information. It just kind of, what you're trying to do is find domains that already have a lot of link juice built in, a lot of link equity. And what we're doing is we're passing the link juice onto the money side. And by passing the link juice to the money side is what makes it rank. That's what gives it its power and its authority and its ranking ability. So whenever you build your private blog network, you have got to have high authority domains with a lot of link juice. So that's really what you're looking for. Now, the more backlinks, every single backlink that's passed to a domain passes what we call link juice, or some people call it link equity, right? It has a little bit of power. Every link has a little bit of power. So the more backlinks you have, the more power you pass, right? So when we're building our private blog network, we want to find domains that already have a lot of backlinks coming into them. And this is one good example. There's a whole lot of backlinks right here, but that's not the, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's any good. This domain could be spammed out by somebody over the last few years and it got penalized or it got taken down, so you do not want to spend your money on something like that. So you have to investigate it. So I'm going to show you real quick how you would do it manually. One of the first things I like to do is go over here to Moz, and you can go to moz.com, research tools, and then OSC. It used to be called Open Site Explorer, so that's why the OSC there. But anyway, log in, find the tools. It's not super simple to find, but it's in the free section. And then we just want to search. And what we have here is domain authority and page authority. And what I always like to do is look at the domain authority and page authority first, and the higher is better. Anytime I'm looking at these metrics, it's always higher is better. More is better. Bigger numbers are have more power. That's the bottom line. All right, so this one has a domain authority of 43. Oops, sorry. And a page authority of 30. The page is the exact page, and then the domain is the overall power of it. So this one says 43 and 30. Anytime you see big numbers like that, what that tells you is there's a lot of action coming on. Like we looked at over here, we saw that it says 386,000 links coming into it, okay? But again, that doesn't mean it's great. It just means it has a lot of links. And so domain authority tells me that there's a lot of links coming in, like I already kind of know that. But what Moz doesn't do a very good job at is telling you how spammy those links are, right? It just gives you, to me, it's my first indicator that I want to take a look at this domain, because those numbers are high. Those are some pretty high numbers right there. So the next thing I want to do, and by the way, these Moz and this other one I'm going to show you, they have a free account, but they're very limited. You can only do a couple searches per day, that they block you out. They're trying to get you to subscribe, right? For $79 a month. Both of these together is going to, can run you about $150 a month. So anyway, so I've logged into my account here, and now what I want to do is the second check I want to look at is trust flow and citation flow. Citation flow is kind of, well, you can read right here. Oh, no, it doesn't tell you exactly what it is. But citation flow is like how many links are coming in and at what rates, things like that. You can see a little graph right here. Trust flow is how trustworthy are those links according to them. They do a pretty good job of telling you, the true story there. And then they also have something new called topical trust flow, which kind of tells you what category it would be in. So you can sort of see what its topics about from the backlinks coming in. All right, so we see 19 and 32 here. These are a little bit, to me, this is the ratio is off to me. I would rather see 19 and 25. Okay, 19 and 32 isn't horrible, but 19 and 40 would be a real big red flag, which probably means someone has been spamming this. And I can kind of tell right away that I wouldn't want to buy this domain because of the total number of backlinks and the number of referring IPs. It's extremely skewed. So this one has a lot of footer links. It has a lot of links, but they're not coming from unique domains, unique webmasters, unique IPs. Not enough of them. Backlink history looks pretty stable. Looks pretty good. And yeah, here is the telltale. Okay, this is I guess Chinese, and so this is something that I would not touch with a 10-foot pole. I don't know what these words stand for. I don't know what that says. So I would not buy this domain for that. I wouldn't buy it for a couple of reasons. This spreads a little long, and this right here is too skewed for me as well. But the telltale sign is in fact the anchor text that's coming in. What you're looking for is anchor text that is first of all, not commercial intent. In other words, if you see, cheap fake Rolex, cheap Rolex watch in the anchor text, that means someone has spammed that domain. It has a lot of commercial intent. Okay, so we would want to see that. I'll show you some more examples in a minute. But so I just, I would just have to be like next. So you can see that took me a little bit of time, but that, I can go over some. I don't know if you guys want to watch me do another one, but that's really it. You just want to take what's available, and then you got to take a look at it in basically these two sites. That's really all you need to get a good picture of how powerful that is. All right. So and then obviously you would go over to the auction and see what its price is. This doesn't show me the price. It tells me it ends today. I haven't used this site in a long time. Maybe it goes to GoDaddy. Oh heck, someone already registered it anyway. Might be good if you're trying to rake an Asian site or something, but so that's what you would do. You would go over there and see how much, and then you got to see how much it costs. So it takes a little bit of time doing it this way to figure out, what you're trying to, if you want to buy it or not. All right, let me take a look at a couple of questions here. Does anybody have any questions on, kind of that part of it? Okay. Looks like everybody understands that pretty well. It's pretty straightforward. Now, the way I like to do it is using the command center. I come over here to my domain sleuth, and how I built this tool was, my motto was, how do I find and build, how do I find, bid, and buy 15 domains in 15 minutes. So what I want to do is I have a filter that I've already set up here. My minimum domain authority is 30, page authority 30. I put page rank 1 in here and a minimum age of 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit search domains. And we just, over the last couple of days, some folks were asking for more foreign domains. So yesterday we added all of these foreign domains that you could also look for. You can uncheck them too. This is actually the first time I've seen this. This just got implemented yesterday. So this could be interesting. Looks like everything worked. Okay, so now what I've done, I've searched through 3 million domains and I've come up with 498 entries that match my criteria. All right. So, you know, I can look real quick and I can see, I know I've already got this automatically sorted by domain authority. And like I said to you a minute ago, domain authority tells me there's a lot of action coming in. There's a lot of backlinks coming in. Now I just have to check those backlinks to make sure I'm not going to, you know, buy a dud that I'm going to not like eventually. So I'm just going to check off a few here. Then I add them to my queue to add domains to research. And then it'll load up this next page right here. And then I'm able to view more details. Ken says, are you recommending we spend $300 to $1,000 for research domains? Now, I'm not recommending that you do it, but I'm telling you that that's if you buy those services, then yeah, you got to pay to see these metrics. But you can't do this without seeing the metrics. I mean, you could get lucky and find some good ones, but most of these domains are spammed out. So let's just take a look at this one real quick.
Yeah.
So right away, as soon as I click on it, this tells me, you know, like I said, the most important thing to me, other than the numbers, is the anchor text cloud. If it looks spammy, it is spammy. You don't want to buy it. This one right here says this has no commercial intent. U.S. Labor Department, and well, there's some life insurance. You know what happened here? Someone actually had previously purchased this domain and used it as either a money site, probably a money site, and tried to rank for the term life insurance, because you can see 54% of all the anchor text is life insurance. So this domain's probably been spammed out, and it probably has a penalty. Some of it's when they originally bought it, it had these anchor texts down here: homepage, Labor Department, I don't know, upcoming breakfast meeting. This one here is just really shady. And again, right here, telltale, 8 and 17. The trust is 8. The citation flow is 17. It's almost 2 to 1. Would not touch this. This is just simply a reject. And then I move on to the next one. Bay 1 T Farm. Here we go. Cheap Ray-Bans right there. Commercial intent and spam. Reject. So you just could go through these really quickly, one at a time, and you're going to come across some that are spammy and some that are very worth buying. And this is basically how you look for the domains. Someone says I keep saying spammy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I think it's fair to say, Todd, without this information, you know, it's very hard to find the domains that aren't spammed out. As you can see, there's a lot. The first 2 or 3, and this one as well looks like it's been
Louis Vuitton.
It's been used. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see that the original subject of the domain was foodandsoul.com, and someone's gone in and yeah, tried to use it for Louis Vuitton something or other, which is a popular spam topic.
Mm-hmm. Now here, this one immediately looks pretty cool. World Radio Magazine. Anchor text, Anchor Cloud has a lot of brand. Naked URL. The brand is welcome. The brand is actually World Radio Magazine, and that's in the anchor text. A lot of naked URL. This one actually looks pretty good. 25 and 17. You see the almost not 1-to-1, but that's pretty nice right there. Actually, trust flow is higher than citation. You don't see that often. That's great. Page rank is 4. We know Google doesn't update page rank, but they used to. And domain authority, page authority is nice. Keep looking down here. Yeah, see, so this one here is a keeper or a bidder. Let's just go take a look at how much the bidding is going for that right now. And this one is at $326. But I tell you what, this one looks really good. This one looks worth every bit of that. I mean, there's a lot of power in this one. Citation is good, trust is good, page authority is good, page rank is good. This domain has a lot of juice, and it hasn't been spammed out. Okay, that's the difference. Does everybody see that? Understand now? That's the difference. You know, I went through 3 bad ones, and then I found this good one right here. This one is worldradioMagazine.com. WorldradioMagazine.com. A little bit on the pricey side, I will admit, but I've spent money like this on domains. Trust me, I have, and it's well worth it. You know.
I think just on that point, one of the questions we had before was, Do you build out a PBN with say 10 domains and then use it to rank one fresh door builder store? And the answer to that is no. Once you've got your PBN set up, you can use it to rank multiple stores, multiple money sites. I don't know if you've got any recommendations on kind of the limits per PBN, or Todd?
I would say every PBN, excuse me, every domain. If I bought this domain right here, World Radio Magazine, I could probably, and with its power, it's got a lot of power, so I could probably point this site at somewhere between 15 and 20 money sites. So
Okay, well,
around 15 fresh stores I could point this
yeah.
domain at.
So even if the domain cost you, 350, and do some quick maths, so 350 by 15, so you're talking like $23 per store really, that you're ranking. So even if you think the cost of the domain initially is high, the amount of ranking you can get out of it, well worth it. And if you go on Fiverr or you go on some of the cheap link building services, you're paying more than that, and they don't work. Which was another question actually about social backlinks and things like that. Anything that's cheap and too good to be true is actually too good to be true. That's my recommendation.
Yeah.
On backlinks.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
and let me just put it to you like this. If you spent $300 for 10 sites, each, so that $3,000, and then you ranked a site that you sold for $100,000 a year later, it's pretty good ROI. Pretty good ROI. But I would back up and say that most domains won't cost you anywhere near that. But the really old the really old ones like this one right here is worth every penny.
So you think? I think that was a question as well. What's the average price, or what price would typically spend on a domain, your PBN?
At auction, you're probably looking for, at a good one, about 50 to 150 at auction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's primarily because of the competition has gone up a little bit in the last year, because you're just bidding against other people. So finding them at auction is one way. Another really good way that I like is using a crawler. And I have a built-in crawler inside here. Let me go ahead and run my analyzer again right now. This one's been running for a little bit. And what the crawler does is it basically, I put in a seed list here. You can see my list over here on the left in step 1. This is a seed list that I extracted from Alexa, which Alexa obviously has all the, the most powerful domains on the planet. They're all listed in there in categories and things like that. But we extract them from there and put them on here. And what we do is we crawl all of these domains and we check every single outbound link, what it is, and then we store it. And then we ask later, is this domain available, yes or no? And that's actually what I'm doing right now in the analyzer status right here. Okay, right now I am checking all of the links that the crawler found that were connected to these sites over here on the left, and seeing if any of them are available for me to register. And once I find them, analyze 300. Now, right now I'm analyzing 12,000 domains. Okay, now it's done 300 of them so far. It's checked them. Number 1, if they're available, and number 2, what their metrics are. So these domains, if I find some good ones, will only cost me $10. The registration cost, because currently no one owns them. Everything that this crawler is going to find, no one currently owns. So you can find some really high-powered domains, and they only cost you $10. This process right here takes a little longer because it's going out and working, right? But this will be done here in just a few minutes.
So just on the cost there. So a couple of questions that were asked: what does it cost to build out one PBN? So if you're going with this method, $10 each, your registration fee, 10 domains, you're talking $100. You could mix in a domain or two from the auction at a little bit of a higher price, just to give it a bit more power. But I don't think that's necessary if you find some good domains here that are unregistered. So, and once you've got that one PBN built out, just to re-clarify what we said just a few minutes ago, You can use that for more than one money site. You can use it for several money sites. So you know, $100 for your own private PBN, I think that's great value, and you can keep using it for several different money sites, not just Fresh Store Builder stores. One of the things we touched on in the previous webinar, and the example that Todd just showed you, the insurance site, you can rank anything from Facebook pages to your own blogs that you've already got running, different projects, even some social pages you've got like Facebook pages. So there's a lot you can do with it once you've got a PBN set up. And just back on the theme of, don't overwhelm yourself, don't think too big. You're probably thinking, yeah, I can get 10 of these PBN networks set up and this and that. Just do one to start with, minimize those costs, get one set up, get it working, get some stores ranking, get some profit back from those stores that are ranking, and then reinvest in another PBN, and keep reinvesting back into your stores to get even more commissions from them. So if you're right at the start here and you've not yet maybe got commissions with Fresh Store Builder stores, you will find that this will snowball. As soon as your first commissions start coming in and you reinvest and you build on it, those commissions will snowball. You'll get several stores up, all earning, several dollars a day, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50 a day. That soon adds up. So yeah, just to give you an example of what I see with the members that really go on to make a success.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just also going to say too, there's a lot of sites out there that will sell you, domains that are, ready for your PBN. There's a lot of brokers out there. This is how the brokers do it right here. They all have the same exact software, maybe not exact, but the same exact principle. They crawl the web, they look for domains that are unregistered but have power, and they sell them to you for $50 or more. This is the exact same process. They're not doing, again, not rocket science. I'm crawling the web and retrieving all the outbound links and then checking them for their metrics. This is the same way all the domain brokers out there, when they sell you domains for $50 or $100 each, they're not even paying. They're not even paying for them. You're paying for the right to see that domain, and then you still got to go pay the $10 for it. So
Yeah.
that's basically the only two ways out there that you get domains for your PBN. This is it: auction or crawling. That's it. Auction's faster because they're right there, readily available. They expire every single day, every hour from 8 a.m. Pacific to I think around 2 p.m. Pacific. All day long, auctions are ending. So you get them that way. Let me go ahead and load some of these domains right now, and let's just check out what I got. We'll go ahead and sort this by domain authority, maybe page authority. So here's a few. Doesn't look real good. There's a few here, but anyway, I'll just show you the process. I'm going to go ahead and select these domains that are available, and I'm going to send them to what I call the domain analyzer. Now what that's going to do is going to come over here, it's going to load it into the analyzer, and now I'm going to add that to the queue. And I generally want to confirm www, which means I'm going to check the base URL and the URL with www. Because it matters which one has more power, because a lot of people link to www.domain.com in most cases, but in some cases the raw URL without the www can be more powerful. So you got to check them both, because if you end up buying it, then you want to make sure you are setting up the domain, and it's real simple in WordPress. It's in general settings. You either put in domain.com or you put in www.domain.com. It's in general settings in WordPress, okay? But you need to know which one is more powerful. So that's why I did that. That's why I confirmed. Now you'll see right here, I'm looking for the www.domain and without. So now I'm checking both of those to see which one is most powerful if I end up getting it. Because they vary, they're different. Because Google views those as different. Okay, so you got to check that. Yeah, so that's queued up right now. We're going out and checking all the metrics, and basically what it does is it comes back to the report like this. And now what I want to do is sort that by trust flow. Trust flow is typically the best indicator of a good domain. The higher the trust flow, the better, as long as it's in line with the citation. This one's 19 and 18, so that's pretty good. So I definitely want to take another look at that. and I've already looked at this one, so the data is already cached, and you can see exactly what I was telling you about a minute ago. Anchor Text Cloud is Bob Bullock Texas State History Museum, and then we also have the ratio of anchor text coming in. This domain is not spammy, not extremely powerful, but does have good trust. It is actually Bob Bullock. I live in Texas, and so Bob Bullock is like a political figure here in Texas. So this domain has a lot of trust and probably has a little bit of power. It would definitely be worth $10 in my opinion. Okay, because trust flow is 19. All right, I'm hoping this other. Okay, so this new one is done right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Again, I'm going to sort by trust flow, 10 and 19. This is the badmood.eu. What a funny name. So I'm going to go ahead and spend some credits and take a look at. I never do 1,000 here. It'll allow you to do 1,000 backlinks and 1,000 anchor text. Don't do that. It just wastes credits. You just want to get a good overall look at it. You're not going to inspect 1,000 backlinks. All right.
So just a quick question. In terms of content, what kind of content would you put on, say, storyoftexas.com to make it an effective website for your PBN? So that was just a question that came in. I'll let you answer that, Todd.
Well, I also have a plugin that I created. I've been using it for 7 or 8 years now, called Content Amigo. I sell that plugin, and what I do with that is I kind of backfill, backdate. I put probably, I don't know, 10, 20, or 30 articles, but it kind of depends, you know. I mean, sometimes I have I do a lot of ranking local services online, so I would make that like a general services contracting blog where it talks about, you know, all kinds of home services. And then that's kind of my back content. And then when I post my money articles on the home page, I make them sticky on the home page. And then that content is typically comes from a writer that I pay anywhere from $3 to $7 per article. And then I can take that article. Sometimes I can spin it, make it unique. I know a lot of people say, oh no, duplicate content's bad and spinning's bad and all this stuff. Well, that's just because they don't have any experience of actually doing it.
I'll agree with that. I get a lot of questions about spinning because we have content spinning built into Freshfield Builder. And if you let it go automatically and you don't check the content, or you know, you're not using the right tools, yes, it can be bad. But just give it a check. You know, once you've spun the content, just read it over. That's all it takes to know whether it's going to be good or not. So yeah, so that's great advice. That's something I didn't really think about or know about. So when you set up your blog and put it in your private blog network, build some content out to give it a little bit of a theme. So, you know, with no backlinks in it, just get some content on the blog, and that gives it a general theme. Whatever matches the domain, whatever matches the general topic. And then when you're ready and you want to start promoting one of your money sites, get an article done for your money site and post that on the blog. And like Todd says, make it sticky on the homepage. Yeah, it should be good to go on that. So.
And guys, I've got thousands of examples of this. Okay, I mean, I've been teaching this for a really long time. I have a lot of students. I invented SEO hosting. So I have a data center in downtown Dallas with thousands of IPs, hundreds of servers, hundreds of clients. We all do it this way. And you know what? They all pay me every month for that service, you know.
Fantastic.
And you know, usually the only time I get a cancellation is when they didn't do anything. You know, it's kind of funny. I can always tell when someone's like, "No, I'll cancel my account." I'm like, okay. You know, then I'll kind of look. Yeah, they didn't take any action. That's why they canceled. The people that do take action, the people that do this, people that do tell me that follow all this stuff, they make money. They rank sites, they make money. They do affiliate sites, they do client SEO, they do launch jacking, they do affiliate, YouTube videos, they do it all. And this is just what works. All right, we're getting a little draggy here, so I'm going to kind of speed it up a little bit on some of these tools that we have here. So finding the domains is the first step in building your PBN. The second thing you want to do is, you know, obviously register them. And then what we have here under PBN tools is the next thing we have is I have what's called PBN hosting. And what this is this connects into 11 different servers across 11 unique IP addresses that you basically just connect to. You add your domain. I've got a WordPress installer in here called the deployer, and it will go out and install WordPress. I'm gonna use this one right here. I have a domain set up. I'm gonna connect to Mr. TNT. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I'm gonna connect up. Now I can simply add another domain here. I can add up to 3. Well, actually, this is connecting to a cPanel. Like, you can use this to connect to any cPanel that you already have, any hosting that you already have out there. But you got to remember that every domain must be on at least a unique Class C IP. If you don't know what that is, it's all in the training. It's not rocket science. It's just something that you have to have. So if I go over here to the deployer, all I have to do now is install my new blog. Let's say here I got testm1.com. I click install. I'm going to go ahead and use a profile right here. I'm going to use that profile. It says OK. I've got over 150 different themes here. They're all kind of free, generic themes. There's nothing unique about them. There's nothing special about them. They're all in different niches. Then I can just fill in a few blanks here, and then I can select different. This profile here uses these WordPress plugins, automatically installs them, automatically activates them. You probably want to always use Spider Spanker if you don't know what that is. It's just a cool tool that keeps people from snooping your sites and using Majestic and Moz to uncover your private blog network. Because one thing I will say is that sometimes if it's happened, you become a target by your competitors, and then your competitors will try to take down your private blog network in one way or another if they can find it. And by using Spider Spanker, we block these sites up here from scraping our PBNs and a bunch of other it blocks all kinds of stuff. You can see right here. It's another one of my plugins that I invented to keep this from happening. It's how competitive your niche is and how ruthless your competitors are is what you got to worry about. But you're not really going to run into it whenever you're ranking, your local dentist or something like that. But or I wouldn't say VTech Dinos, because there's not a lot of it's mostly where the affiliate competition is. Okay.
Yeah.
But Spider Spanker is another one. So anyway, so this thing just goes in, you select all your stuff, you can upload your own custom plugins, whatever you want to do. Click install blog, it automatically runs out there, automatically installs WordPress, automatically does all that stuff. So that's how you get them hosted. Again, it comes with 10 inside here, or excuse me, 11. We have 11 different servers you can connect to. I'll go ahead and disconnect from that real quick. So that's how you get them hosted. Now, once you get them hosted, then we want to get things posted to them. And I've got a post and link manager right here where we can add all of our blogs to this system. We can add them into groups. We can make campaigns. And then we can post our money articles to these sites. And then at the same time, we can also manipulate our anchor text from here, because there's always that anchor text ratio. You don't want to get too much anchor text that's exact match. Sometimes you want to change it from whole 3030, like I said a minute ago, the earlier than the URL structure, right? This is called sandwiched, where we have a word at the beginning and some words at the end of our target, because obviously we're targeting VTech Switch and Go. That's our main keyword. But then we get these other keywords in here, and we have the possibility to ranking for all this kinds of stuff. But then you don't trigger Penguin because you're not exact match. So you have to be mindful of that. And sometimes you have to be able to control that. You have to be able to change your anchor text. And I tell you right now, it's a big pain in the woo-ha to have to find all of your links that you have on your private blog network. And I created this tool because in the past, when Penguin came down about a year and a half ago, going out and finding all of your posts with all of your anchor texts and all that stuff was hard, and you never got them all. So I built this to do that. The other cool thing about this is if you're doing client SEO and somebody stops paying you and you get another client, well, if someone stops paying you, you delete their links, right? I mean, if they're paying for a service, they stop paying you, you can easily go in here, use this tool, find their links, change it, get a new client, change the URLs without wasting a lot of time and money and energy and paying someone else to do it. So this is a very cool tool. I really love this tool. This tool actually, just so you know, has got a whole new slew of features coming soon. They're in development right now. I've added all kinds of new tricks to the way this post and link manager works. So anyway, so that's how we post content and articles to our PBN. So that's really it in a nutshell. It's find them, host them, and post them.
Great.
There's a few nitty-gritty details about name servers. You have to be mindful of editing your SOA records. You really need to understand what SOA records are a little bit. With my hosting, in my service, I automatically do a lot of things on the back end that automatically make those things go away. You don't have to worry about them. Other
So
hosts,
a lot of that's in the things they need to know about is in the training as well, right? So
yeah, it's all in the training as well.
Yeah.
But my host,
what kind of, sorry, just what kind of like, obviously do you have support there and place where people can contact and ask questions about the tools? Yeah.
This is my hosting company. It's not advertised as SEO hosting, right? Because I don't want, I won't ever advertise it. It's just for me, my clients, my students, things like that. But anyway, so this is my hosting company that we do all the things. We do a lot of things on the back end that other hosting companies who just are in it for the buck, right? They copied what I've started 10 years ago and saw there was a big need for it, but they don't really understand SEO. So, I do.
Just at that point, Todd, I've got to head off. We're about an hour in now, so just want to say thank you again for putting on this Q&A and the original webinar. So if there's any quick questions that anybody wants to ask me before I leave, please just ask quickly and I'll answer. Otherwise, you've got the opportunity to ask me anything in the Facebook Mastermind group. You can open a sport ticket, reply to one of the emails you get from me. I'm going to be sending a link to the replay of this and the original webinar after this, so you'll have all that information. Have a look in the chat here for a link to the original webinar replay and a link to get inside the tools here on SEO Command Center. So yeah, okay. There are a few questions here. I'm sure Todd will go through the questions, even the ones that have maybe been done earlier on in this webinar. But if there's anything that doesn't get answered even today, feel free to ask me. No problem at all, and I'll answer those for you. So thank you again, Todd. I'm going to leave now, and Todd will carry on from here. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Kerry. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye. A few questions here. Mike seems a little antsy about his questions. I'll start answering them here. You asked how many PBNs do I need to rank a medium competition keyword? There's no way that I could tell you the answer to that. It all depends on the competition itself, right? And who is those competition and what is their competitiveness. Now I have tools inside here that allow me to go in and look at keywords. For instance, if I go into the keyword, I'll just show you a quick example of a report. Let me go ahead and go with this weight loss one right here. So this tells me a lot about the competition, about how many people are trying to rank for it. It tells me, AdWords competition, it tells me all this stuff. But the real thing right here is view the top 10. Who's in the top 10? Who is your competition? That's what you got to ask yourself. Now, generally, a medium competitiveness keyword, I would say 20, 25, but it really depends right here. Who's in the top 10 and what are their metrics? Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. If you don't know the metrics, then you don't know, right? You just don't know. These numbers don't lie. They're all relative. So if you don't know these metrics, then you're kind of, may or may not get it right. But that's why I've built this tool so that it's all right here in front of me. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I just go in there and take a look. So I can look at this right here, and I can see some holes in here. This guy, Houston Sleeve Surgery, he's not that big. There are some really big ones, WebMD, so you just have to look. All right, Mike, there's question number one. How do you determine the number of PBN links it will take to rank? You don't know exactly. You just have to start adding links until it does rank. Okay, there's no, if you've ever read a Google patent, it's hard to understand, and it's hard to understand for a reason. You just don't know. I don't even think their algorithm knows what their algorithm means, right? I mean, it's kind of artificial intelligence, really. if it were exact, then it wouldn't work, right? Google would be just a big mess. Let me scroll on down here, find some more questions here. Just to be clear, 10 posts can be on multiple and varied content. Yes, it can. You can have varied content. I do it all the time. I have 10 posts on 10 different topics. Now, can you do niche related? Sure, you can do that too. Is it better? I don't know. Maybe. I don't ever see a difference. Some people say it is. I've heard people say that. I don't ever see a difference. What kind of themes? Free themes that are widely used. Mike, I just showed you I have 150 themes. I just showed you the 150 real quickly. They're all themes I found online. I would never make a custom theme and use it for all of them. That would be leaving a footprint. How many articles per PBN? I kind of went over that earlier too. I use Content Amigo to backfill posts and content. Doesn't matter, 10, 20, 30, 5. Just be different, be random. How many articles on the homepage? 10 to 20, 2 to 3 links each. How do you spend content correctly? You don't. You spin it and then you read it. Does it read okay? Then it's correct. It's not that hard. It's not that really hard. It's really not that huge of a deal. Are PBNs the only methodology you employ for ranking? Yeah. I do for money sites, you do want to, register it in Google Webmaster Tools. It's probably good to build a Facebook page. It's probably good to, make it your money sites are important, right? Your money sites, if they have any value, they have any importance, if you're trying to rank them, then obviously they do, then it's always best to have a Google Plus profile, Facebook page, Twitter page, all the main social media networks. Sure, build those. It takes 5-10 minutes each. How many PBNs do you recommend linking to a fresh store? Many as it takes. Don't know the competition. Ken says too much works. No, it's really not, Ken. I've spent an hour talking more than doing, right? But with my tool, you're basically just finding, hosting, and posting. And you can do it manually too, like I showed you. Look through them. Look through their metrics. Now, this is a little bit of this to me. The reason why I built my tool was because this is expensive, and this takes time to do all the analyzation one by one. This is why I built a command center, so I could do this. The goal was to find 15 domains in 15 minutes to buy or bid on. That's why I built it, and I get things done, and I know my metrics. That's what it's all about. Moving down here, I'm almost caught up on questions. It was mentioned, don't leave a trail on a PBN. Right, no AdSense on your PBNs, no monetization, to be honest. Any other plugins to avoid on a PBN that may leave a trail? Nah, a lot of people talk about that just to be talking about stuff, to act like they know what they're talking about. See that so much. People just start saying stuff they have no experience in. A lot of guys are out there doing that, folks. If you haven't noticed, they just became an SEO expert in the last year, and they were a Facebook expert the year before, and then they were some other expert the year before that, and then before that they just got out of high school. Some people just say a lot of stuff just to act like they're doing stuff, but man, I know from experience, thousands of domains, thousands upon thousands of domains, lots of data. You should have your own Q&A. Okay, I don't know what that is. Do you update monthly your PBNs? Do I update them? Do I update my PBNs? Do I click update? Yes, absolutely. Actually, inside of the command center, we also have inside PBN tools. We also have PBN Amigo, which I didn't have time to go over. It's basically an updater, manager, a mass installer. Manages all your plugins. You add all your sites. We've got a little plugin. You just add your site right here. Put in your URL, username, blah 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 blah. And then you just can, click on manage, click on plugins, click on the sites, load the plugins, and then you see them all. And then you can do whatever you want to with it. Blah blah blah. Update. So thank you, Indy. I am hilarious. Glad you think I'm funny. The pricing for the command center, if you go to let's let me see here how I can put this in the chat. I know some of you guys have been on here for an hour now and just want me to, shut up and show me the buy link already. It does cost a little bit of cash. I'm trying to find the chat box real quick. Oh, right there it is. Sorry. Do I keep adding fresh new content to my PBN? I use Content Amigo, which is another plugin over here. It's a sell plugin because it requires, it requires a lot of updates. I've been writing and rewriting this plugin for blognetworkblueprint.com/Content Amigo. Since it seems to be a big topic, I'm going to go ahead and just post this here. It's what I use to keep my my private blog network updated with content, and I've been using it for years. I've been updating it for years. Works really well. That's what I use to backfill my content. Now, that is not money article content. Money article content looks like this from a writer. All right. This one is about this one is about birthday cakes. I'm going to shut that down. I have a bunch of articles on VTech D-Notes I was going to show you, but I don't have them pulled up. Do I recommend putting a security plugin on your PBN? Yeah, I do. Since we're just plugging everything I do, here's another one of my products that all my users use called Hacker Spanker. This will do it all. This will prevent no one gets hacked using Hacker Spanker. It's Spider Spanker's big brother. Spider Spanker does a real good job as well of keeping hackers at bay, but it does not stop SQL and RFI injections. I know I get too damn geeky, but yeah. Here's another one of my plugins that I built that I use on all my stuff. Spider Spanker, Hacker Spanker are two very important plugins, and Content Amigo. But you don't have to use Content Amigo. You can get your own articles somewhere else. I would be very careful about some of those content plugins out there that are scraping. They will get some of them can get you de-indexed. I've been using Content Amigo for years and years and years and years, and I keep it works. It works good. It doesn't get people trashed. Oh yeah. Back to where can you get the thing? SEOcommandcenter.com/FSB. All right. No. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go to that page. I want you to go to replay. Okay. Since for some of you that didn't see the original replay, I'll go ahead and put this in here to all audiences and go ahead and send that. So when you get there, you can click here to join the command center. So then it redirects you, and now you get in here. This way Carrie gets credit. Some of you guys take advantage of this. So it has an initiation fee, but a low monthly fee. Pretty soon I'm going to move this up to $150 to $300 a month, depending on the amount of credits. Now, some of the system uses credits. I know you're going to be asking about that. There's a few places that use credits, and you only spend your credits when I have to spend my credits. I'm just going to go over this real briefly. Adding a new domain, you'll be charged 5 credits, and the keyword's 5 credits. So a few credits here, a credit for a backlink, a credit for an anchor text, things like that, and you'll see your credits going down. If you ever run out, you can also always click that right there, and then in just a second it'll load and it allows you to buy some more. Buy some more if you need more for the month or for something else. But really what I'm doing right now with this I just started. This is the 3rd group that's ever seen the command center, and so a couple of other groups have seen it. A lot of people have taken advantage of this. Right now it's only $29 a month, but we have an initiation fee. And with the initiation fee, the reason why the initiation fee varies is how many credits do you want to lock in for life, right? Eventually, a package with 12,000 credits is probably going to cost you $300 a month. But now remember, you think, oh my gosh, why do I have to spend all that money? Well, if you want to do this and you don't want to, if you don't want to, pay this, then go buy all these. It's up to you. I mean, you're going to save money in the long run with the command center, right? Like I said, I just opened this up not too long ago, a couple of months ago. third group to see it, and I've got about $150,000 in the development of this. I've got 5 full-time programmers that we work on this every single day, and we love it. We have fun with it. I'm not making any money. I'm not, I don't. This is not what I don't do this to pay my bills, guys. Right? I'm really just looking to, for now, just to pay some of the fees on it. I've got a lot of API costs and a lot of development costs. Okay, so I don't. This, this is not what I use to pay my bills. I just, want to try to break even on it, and I will. I'll get there. And I've been doing this for a really long time. I always build software. I showed you a few examples of some of my software. I mean, I'm just, that's who I am. I'm an inventor. I'm an innovator. And it just happens to be that SEO is my my forte right now. Before SEO, I owned a lead gen company that I sold for $2 million. And the reason why I was able to sell it for $2 million because it automatically distributed over 1,000 mortgage leads per day from 1998 to 2003. Made a killing, made a fortune. But the reason why it was so awesome is because it was software. Because I had software that managed the whole entire thing from top to bottom. I would wake up at 9 and go to the pool at noon. Software did everything, and it did it beautifully. Anyway, sold that company. It was good stuff. Let me get to some questions here. Man, guys, I really wish I could show you all the other cool stuff in here, but I know that, mobile tools, if anybody's into local SEO client getting, the mobile prospector is a new tool that we developed just a couple of months ago. I started putting a lot of client getting tools in here because that's what I do, and I got to find ways to contact or we'll give leads to sales staff that then contact people. And I do it too, but not as much as other people. I'm not the best salesman. I'm not like a real salesman kind of guy. I'm kind of blunt, I guess you will. But anyway, this is a pretty cool tool. This goes out. Oh, I didn't even show you what it did. It goes out and it checks their sites if they're mobile ready or not. Google has a tool online that you can tap into that tells you whether or not they think your site's mobile ready. Guys, if your money sites are not mobile ready or not mobile friendly, whatever you want to call it, they're not going to rank on mobile devices. And mobile devices now are giving up to 50% of all traffic. So and Google will penalize your site for not being mobile friendly. So make sure you're checking this. Just Google up mobile ready test, mobile friendly test, and you can go to Google's tool. But I like this because now I can just put in a single keyword, and I've done a lot of searches right here, and it'll pull. I can pull as many as I want. I can pull the top 100 results. It'll return back to me every single person that's not mobile ready, and then I can send them an email with a link that looks something like this that says, hey, check it out. This is what your site looks like, and it's not mobile ready. So that's the command center. It's got some cool tools to find prospects. It's also got a site auditing tool, local lead tools right here. I can go into the Yellow Pages lead finder and put in, I'll just put in plumbers. I'll put in, whatever. I can do different countries now too. Dallas. I'll start finding leads. What this does is it goes in and finds a bunch of leads, and then we can offer them our services to rank up. Because guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, local VTech Dinos was tough. It wasn't tough in the fact that I did it so quickly, but in the grand scheme of things, it is tough. Local is simple. All right. And the command center can help you find leads to rank. You can make a lot of money doing local client SEO. I do. All right, let me get to some questions here. I probably should go back to this page. It's probably what everyone's talking about right now. Let me go back. You guys filled me up. I appreciate all the questions, and I'll get to all of you guys. Don't worry. Yes, I'm recording this, so hopefully the replay will work. I did security. Thank you. This has been outstanding. Everybody asked me too, if you come on board now, Premier 1, can you upgrade to Premier 2 and Premier 3? Yes, until I go public with this and the homepage offers the, $100 a month to $300 a month pricing. Then I can't I can't allow it. I can't be allowing the initiation fee upgrades anymore because that's not going to be part of the deal. Hosting is included for 11 sites. Yes, it is. Right here, I went over the PBN hosting. So you don't have to pay for your first 11. You don't have to pay for your first 11 sites, which is another $50 a month. So I provide that to get you started. And then after you build your 11, then I hope you come over here to bizbuilderhosting.com and get one of these hosting plans here and carry on. Once you get into this, you're gonna be building quite a few of them. So someone says the command center seems difficult to them. You know, I don't. I try to, you know, not be too overly technical or make it sound complicated, because I don't know. I mean, the only thing that you're really interested in is the numbers, and like I mentioned before, the higher the number, the more power it has. But then you just have to look and see if the power is from spam, which means, you know, one of the 3 P's, porn, pills, and payday. Okay, you don't want any domains that have any of that stuff, and you just have to look. You just have to use your eyes. What does it look like? Okay, is it a good domain or is it a bad domain? That's it. And then, you know, hosting is hosting. You know, installing WordPress is installing WordPress. It's what you would do, you know, hopefully if you're online doing things, and you probably how do you determine whether a domain is spammy or not? Man, I just went over that earlier. It was in, you look at the anchor text. All right, let me go over here to domain tools. I can find one for you real quick. Domain analyzer. I'll probably find something in here. Let me take a look. Oh, well, these are from the crawler. Yeah, I'll just load one real quick. The anchor text right here. Spam means commercial intent, cheap Viagra, cheap Louis Vuitton bags, you know, just over and over and over again. You see the anchor text ratio right here. This is all, you know, the domain name itself. See that HTTP? That's a naked URL. So that's not spam. What is spam is commercial intent, 100% cheap Louis Vuitton bags. So that's it. Just what does it say? So boom, boom, boom. Again, the initiation fee locks in your credits. Eventually, you know, when we move to full monthly pricing, then 2,000 credits will probably be, you know, $99 a month. I don't know for sure yet. And, you know, this will probably be $199, and this will probably be $299. Or, you know, like it go, or you can spend, you know, $500 or $600 a month to do the same thing. But if you want to rank like the pros, if you want to rank sites, I'm giving you an easy way to do it. You know, software that's been developed by me over years. I'm not new at this. I invented all of it, to be honest. No one was doing this stuff before me 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 2004. What was that, 11 years ago? How long before the command center goes public? Probably within 60 days. What's the difference between BizBuilder and HostGator? HostGator is going to give you an account on a single IP and put you on the same IP with hundreds and if not thousands of others. And that's one thing about sharing IPs with people that you don't know. You don't know what they're putting on those IPs, and any single IP can be considered a bad neighborhood. So you really, I don't recommend sharing an IP with anyone. All of my IPs inside of BizBuilder Hosting, the difference is BizBuilder Hosting offers multiple IPs. Everybody gets a dedicated IP because, you know, that's just the way I like to do it. Because, you know, you really don't know who you're hosting next to, and you can be in a bad neighborhood, and, you know, it can be bad for you. HostGators, you're on a shared IP. There are other SEO hosting companies out there that are cheaper, A lot cheaper, maybe not a lot, but 25% cheaper, but you're going to get a shared IP. And the last thing you want to do is share your PBN with some other guy's PBN who's doing it all wrong. Okay. Most of the SEO hosting companies out there that are cheaper than me are shared hosting. And don't ask me to, well, this guy's over here is cheaper, so why aren't you cheaper? Because I don't want, number one, I don't want everybody under the sun coming to me for hosting. I just don't. And usually when people start being cheap, they're the biggest headache, right? I mean, if you've been in service long enough, then you know how that goes. The cheapest people are usually the hardest to deal with. More questions. How many times can we use an outbound link on one of our PBN sites before the link juice is devalued too much? Depends on the metrics of that domain, right? How powerful is that domain? How much link juice does that domain have, right? So I think I did a pretty good example earlier, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. The domain I found earlier, that World Radio Magazine, that thing was powerful. It was $300 right now, but it was powerful. And I can't remember the exact data on it. I'd have to go back and look it up. But it could probably hold 30 articles with 2 links each. Now, if you get a middle of the road, like say a 20 trust flow and a somewhere between 20 and 30 domain authority, then you're probably looking at somewhere like 15 posts, 10 to 15. So you got to know your metrics, guys. Got to know your metrics. No problem, Kevin. SEO hosting plans, Joel. John, I'm not certain exactly what your question is. Maybe you could rephrase that a little bit. Quality control with PBN service. Not sure about that. When you find a client, how do you fix their site to be mobile friendly? Well, that's easy. Check this out. Mobile tools, mobile site builder. This is really cool right here. This is another tool I have in here, and it goes off to the mobile command center. The mobile command center allows you to build mobile sites. All right, I think okay, add a mobile site. Oh, let me watch this. Create a site from template. You got a lawyer? Pick a lawyer. Then you go in and choose it up and make your edits. You can choose from education. So we got health and fitness. Pick a template. And services, we got luxury spa, salon, plastic surgeons, plumbers, law firms, insurance agents, more salons, more auto repair, pet shop, hotels, directory, real estate agents, and then here's some responsive themes. So yeah, so we just build them a mobile site. Oh yeah, and I was going to say, typically a mobile site development, and you can charge anywhere from $2.99 to $4.99, and then $25 a month hosting. Okay, so guys, you got to get into the recurring model when you're doing things online. Really do. I mean, a lot of clients that we have in the local space, we charge anywhere between $500 and $2,500 a month. And it doesn't take too many of them for that to start adding up pretty quickly. And once you have a good quality PBN, I mean, you just rank those guys like shooting fish in a barrel. So that's the mobile command center, and that's what we do. That's we get the prospector out, and we start hunting down people who are not mobile friendly, and then we send them the custom URL that shows them how unfriendly their site is. And then we sell them a builder. Then we sell them a site like this. Costs a little bit of money because I have to pay for it. What I charge is $5 a month per site, and you should charge $25 per month per site. So yeah, good money. Keyword tools, I think I already went over that. Local lead tools, security tools, these are pretty cool. I got a hacker scanner here. Put in your website, and it'll go out and check if any of your plugins are vulnerable. And then it'll also let you know if you've been hacked, if the content changes by some percentage, because that's what, when you get hacked, you usually get defaced. So that's always good to know. Security scanner, this is a good tool too to make sure you can do it for your clients. Anytime you take on a client, you really want to check their sites for potential hacks and spams. David, we do have the SEMrush API. We have it inside different areas. For instance, the domain analyzer has some SEMrush data. Yeah, right here, SEMrush, and gives you some of SEMrush's data. We also have it in the keyword tools. When you go to the keyword analyzer, we're pulling some data from SEMrush. Okay. Right here, SR, SEMrush search volume, SEMrush cost per click, SEMrush competition. See right here? So we're pulling data from them as well. Do you need diversified links? Someone asked, not just PBNs. Lightly, yeah. Don't go out and spam Web 2.0s like there's no tomorrow, unless you've done every single thing you can possibly do and the site's not moving. Then some people will go out and do that. I don't ever really have to do that. I think that if your site doesn't move with PBNs, then you've got on-page problems. You got on-page problems on site. Your anchor text, not your anchor text, your site structure, your site URL, your on-page factor, you really need to take a look at. I have yet to find a site that I can't move up the SERPs with a quality PBN. Just doesn't happen. If it doesn't move, then I have to start paying more attention to the on-page. And then maybe someone else was working on it before you and it's penalized. You got to go into Google Webmaster Tools to see that. Okay, guys, we are at an hour and 40 minutes, so we probably should be wrapping this up pretty soon. Oh, audit tools. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, thanks for asking. Site auditor. All right. Come down here, like I can build a profile, like my profile here, and then I put in a client's website, his keywords, fill in all this data, and then I click generate report. And what that does is, okay, I'll get one right here. Right here, Hutchins Roofing is one I ran. This guy. So now what it does basically, it goes out and gets all this information, and then builds an email that says, hey, I was checking out your site, your score's this, it's kind of bad, you should check out this report I created for you. So then they click on the thing, they click on the report, it goes to SEO report.website. And then you get them on the phone, or you send it to them and say, hey, take a look at this report, and then give me a call and let me know, you want to talk about what we see here. And so what it does is it gives them an overall score, gives them their local visibility. It kind of tells them where they're visible and where they're not visible, where they need help, right? It tells them what their ranking is. Like this is a guy right here. He's like right on the edge. He's right on the edge. This was just an example I pulled up. I could probably get this guy, talk him into some good stuff because he's right on the edge. He's at number 18. He's not even trying. This is a perfect example of someone to go after. Like he could be having so much more business, and it wouldn't take very much. The best clients are the clients on page 2. They're the best ones because they kind of know it's there. They wish they were on page 1, but they're not. Maybe they've been paying someone to get them to page 1, and the guy's not doing a good job, or it's not making it work because they're just using social media to rank them. It's not working. The guys on page 2, if you find the guys like this who have decent on page and a good looking site, I mean, look at this guy's site. It's pretty good. It's not exactly mobile ready. He could use some help. He's going to have to get that fixed first. But anyway, so here's the report that I'd like to go over. I call him up and say, hey, you're sitting on page 18 for your main term. It won't take much to get you up there. We got to do some work here, though. We got to get your site mobile ready. It's about $400 plus $25 a month. Here's your metrics. You got no metrics, bro. You're on page 2, right, number 18, and you got no power. That tells me that your on page is killing it. On page is good. Your age is good. Something is really good about this site to be ranking on page 2 for a pretty competitive term. McKinney's no tiny city. It's actually one of the fastest growing cities. It is the fastest growing city in the state of Texas, actually, and ranked number 2 best city to live in the United States. Anyway, so there's a lot of good stuff, and he has no power. I'll be like, hey man, we got no backlinks, no referring domains. You got some, maybe got a little problem here. There's some stuff right here. There's some stuff in red that you can talk about. And just say, yeah, let's get after this. So that's what the audit report does, and I'm able to send this guy an email with a link to that page. That's like I said, it's not going to be searchenginecommandcenter.com. It's going to be that right there, SEO report on our website. So that's a cool tool that I like to use to send people these emails, and then give them and then at the bottom, I have a sales number they can call, or a salesman to follow up with these guys. Hey, did you get that email? Audit tools, my domains monitor. Here's another thing we do. We keep track of all the domains uptimes, right? If your site goes down, you got to know about it. So that's another thing that this does. Performance analysis. Excuse me. Performance analysis is another key factor in ranking. Your site's got to be fast. It can't be slow. We do a check once a week and generate these reports on your site. And, so you got to keep up with that. Make sure that your site's not failing. This one right here looks like it's failing a little bit. Not failing, but it's also, it's the command center, so that doesn't matter. A lot of stuff going on in the command center. The SEO scanner, here's a pretty cool tool. If you just want to look at somebody, I use this for competition, Dallas scanner. Let me do Dallas lawyer. I use this one to look at the competition of a site. Like if some guys, killing me or ahead of me, like what's going on. So this is the bird's eye view. You can do this to your client too. You can do it to any site, and it basically tells you all the URLs, so I can see what he's trying to rank for. Right? Domestic violence, criminal defense, criminal appeals, consultations, drug offenses, disorderly conduct. Yeah, I can find some drunk driving, all this stuff right here. So I can go in here and look at this and see what kind of the pages he's going after real quick and real easy. If I want to look at each and every page individually, then I simply click on it, boom, boom, boom. I can go down and it gives me all the data. This is just, this is the on-page view. And, once you start learning, how to do SEO, then this stuff becomes important. But this is all for client getting and client servicing. Once you build a PBN, I highly recommend that you stick them on your fresh stores. Fresh stores are going to rank. I've already proved it. Gosh, I just want to look at VTech Dinos again real quick. I mean, these are beautiful sites, guys. I mean, Kerry's a phenomenal coder. He's a good guy too. He cares. You can tell he cares. It shows. And he knows what he's doing here. So ranking these with PBNs, I've already proved that it works. Some affiliate sites that that other builders build or you build by hand can be difficult to rank because you don't get the on page right. But this, affiliate marketing is awesome. It makes commissions. It makes money on autopilot. Amazon commissions, they are what they are. They're not 50%, right? They're a few percent, but it adds up. You can. I know a lot of people that have a lot of home run affiliate sites, and I know a lot more people that have home run local consulting services. Where I don't know how else to say how easy it is to rank local sites with a powerful PBN. I mean, It's just a matter of a $3 article, maybe 10 $3 articles, maybe. A lot of local sites will rank with 2 links. I'm serious. A lot of sites will rank with 2 links, sometimes 3. Look at that. Look at this one guy that I showed you. I've already moved on. Page 18, no links. Was it this guy? Yeah, right here. Not page 18, it's number 18 with no links. Guarantee you, I put 2 links to this. He's on page 1. He's paying me $500 to $1,000 a month. And not only that, but now this guy's probably making, an additional $25,000 a year. Whatever he charges to, I don't know, roofers, where they make several $1,000s per roof, I'm sure. So 2 links, guarantee you this guy's on page 1. I got to fix this first, though. Got to build him a mobile site first. Anyway, any more questions? Can't show you a PBN domain, Joel. I'm sorry, just not going to go there on a public webinar. Just, I don't know everybody that's watching this personally, and look, I'll show you a test blog, but it's not really what I consider, But I guess this is sort of, basic theme: image, content, image, content, image, content, links. Nothing fancy. It's probably not a good example. I don't use this theme on any of my other PBNs, but this is a basic example. Test site. I'm probably going to do a Facebook group, Anthony. Just haven't started one yet. I'm getting a lot of people asking me, they want to hang out. But the thing about that is that, I'm going to be called there a lot, and I don't want to disappoint anybody by not being available. I did a product launch last month for the mobile prospecting tools, so that was taking up quite a bit of my time, managing that and then managing everything else. So it's a big commitment for me to, start a place, but hopefully what I really want to do is I'm kind of waiting for enough people to get involved so that I'm not the only source of information. Okay. Whoa. John, I'll send you a link. Send you a link right now, and put in a support ticket here. CNCC.freshdesk.com. Yeah, go there and give me some more details. I'll see what I can do for you there. Any other questions? We are now officially almost hitting the 2-hour mark, so I hope you guys will join me. I'm really proud of this tool. I hope you guys can see the power in it, and I hope you guys get on board, man. There's just a lot of money to be made by knowing this, and I hope I didn't confuse anyone too much. I hope I answered all your questions good, and if there's anything else I can do for you, join SEOCC, and we are right there. Big green leave feedback button right there. That goes to my support team, and I look at them too if I need to. And again, we're updating this every single day. We're not going anywhere. This is a very special tool. Yeah, Anthony, it's thanks for that. Thanks for your compliment. I guess there's a little bit to learn, of course, but like I said, it is not rocket science, and it is not that difficult to learn. We have, don't forget, the university, which I showed you earlier, and You can register for free right here, and if you know whatever, and all the pretty much everything you want to know and it's not just, by the way, the other trainer in here is Clinton Dixon, and he does a lot of the training in here. Clinton Dixon is a student of mine a couple years ago, and he's phenomenal. He's a great example of someone who took my training, the first Blog Network Blueprint course he was not a part of. This was in 2011, 3 or maybe 12, 3 or 4 years ago, and he took this training, and he changed his life. He's huge now. He does a lot of client getting, a lot of local consulting. He does affiliate marketing. He does it all, and because he built a pretty powerful PBN. Once you build a pretty powerful PBN, I hate to say it, but you're just going to solve a lot of problems financially with just a PBN. All right, guys, that's all I got. So let me go ahead and put this link in the chat one more time, just in case somebody didn't see it. That's a link to this page where, if you didn't catch the full webinar, the 3-hour webinar on the other day, it's here again. Of course, the last 45 minutes is just us talking, more Q&A and stuff. So understand you may not want to comment. Yeah, Anthony, I hear you, bro. All right. Thanks, John. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Joel. Everybody else, Brad. It's all I can see on the screen right now. But thanks to everyone for spending your afternoon or evening or early morning with me. I appreciate it. I had fun, and we'll be in touch. Thanks. Bye.